And we're back. Okay, going to other news, and then I want to get Larry. Wait a minute. What about a judge in Louisiana, Michelle Oldenette, has asked for forgiveness and understanding after a video surfaced capturing a series of racist remarks as her family gathered to watch security footage of an attempted burglary at her home. A black man was arrested in connection with that. And that while they're watching the security footage, she says her mother's yelling in which she says, or which you can hear this woman say, which appears to be the judge, we have an in like a roach. This is the judge. Someone broke in my home. And first she said she was under sedation. She was under sedatives. And as a result, she didn't remember and blamed the use of the medicine on her using this racial slur. And this happened in Bendel Gardens, Lafayette. Now, when I'm going to try to upload it, but if I can't, I urge everyone to see it. I understand that, you are not a judge 24 hours a day. Okay, I got that. But when you use racial slurs like this, and you then preside over cases where you got black people and you call them like a roach, you do not need to be you need to be severely disciplined. I'm not saying that she needs to lose her job, but she need to be disciplined. She need to feel that. She need to be on. You gonna call somebody and then say it was a sedative. And she wasn't slurring. Oh, you could hear her very clearly. Very, very clearly. You could hear that. And she was laughing in like a roach, and made a comparison to this black man who they had detained at the scene like a roach. What? That is, as you write, Cindy Lamar, that tells who they really are. And then for you to say it was because of the sedative that made me say that, girl, let me say this to you. Had that been a black judge, they would have been asking for that judge's immediate removal, not discipline. They would have wanted to remove them. They would have wanted them. It's called the JTC. That's the judge police. And they on their own motion, okay? Now, follow along. When someone was in my courtroom, okay, and said, F me, and I got off the bench and I had to think about that, let me tell you what was going through my mind. It was already a rape case, but I'm going to tell you what's really also going through my mind. You going to sit up here and disrespect me as a woman and say, F me? And he said it so powerfully. I said, wait a minute, hold on for a minute. I got to handle this. I got to take care. I said, did you just say F me in my courtroom? And we was going at it. You can watch it on YouTube. The JTC immediately sent a complaint against me. Immediately. For me repeating what this man has said to me. But wait a minute. When you see somebody watching security video coverage and they say, in like a roach, I'm going to tell you. And nothing going to happen to her in Louisiana. Zero. Why? Because they like that. Louisiana has the 3 strikes you out. That means that if you, in your lifetime, you do 3 felonies, you going to prison for life. If Louisiana were a country, it would have the largest incarceration rate. They you know, that's just, you know, she was at her home. She didn't mean that. I do not believe this woman is going to be disciplined. But for those of you, you know, who know people that live down there, you need to tell them when her name come on the ballot, she does not need to be elected. And that means that if you got to stand in line all day long, that woman does not need to be reelected. We don't have to wait for the JTC to do nothing, because they ain't going to do nothing. They ain't going to do nothing to her. Okay. Like I said, this white privilege getting beside itself. But oh yeah, Judge Odinet. We have it's an N like a roach. LOL. But let me say this to you. And she lives and she down there in Louisiana. Well, let me tell you something. It has gone viral, and there is no way that she needs to be reelected if she is going to be comparing, because ain't no telling what she doing on the bench, thinking in like a roach. Come on. This woman need to be held accountable. All that lying about that damn sedative, she need to stop all that damn lying. And well, now she is asking for forgiveness. She's from Lafayette for forgiveness and understanding. What's to understand? Somebody break in your house and you call them an in like a roach? What's to understand? That was a very racist statement. You're learned. Young lady, you learn it, to whom much is given, much is required. You a sitting judge, and however, what's telling is someone recorded it and leaked it. So you in your house, you got somebody recording it and leaking it, and then how does it get out? Let me tell you something. It's outrageous. But we got Larry on the line. Larry?
Good afternoon, Attorney Evans. Just wanted to chime in on this Oxford thing real quick.
I'm listening.
So I heard, one of your fellow jurors, Judge Goldsmith, I think, is supposed to rule on these lawsuits. I believe that to be correct. I'm not sure if you can tell me if that's correct.
I do believe that's correct. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so it so happens I was on jury duty in his court about 5 years ago. Anyway, the point I'm getting at is this: I don't think, even if they do consider these valid, even if he allows these things to proceed, here's one thing, and you got to understand, this is just the beginning. So Jeffrey Feiger filed a $100 million lawsuit. You know, there's other people who are also going to be filing suit, following what he did. He opened the floodgates, and so there's going to be plenty of other lawsuits. So my thing is this: even if he allows these things to proceed, he considers these valid claims, what is the likelihood that they even are collectible? I mean, it's one thing to sue somebody, even if you're right. I mean, the fact is they don't even have enough insurance to even cover it. They don't even carry this kind of liability. So, it's almost like what they did with O.J. Simpson. They sued him, sure. The Goldman family sued O.J. Simpson for $33 million. Sure, they were right. They got a judgment. They haven't collected one dime. Now, obviously, it's not the same thing, but suing is one thing. And even if it's a valid lawsuit, I'm sure you know this, is it collectible? Well, who's got, even the person with the deepest pockets, they're not even insured or anything even close to that. That's my
well, here's the situation. First of all, wait a minute. First of all, the thing about it is that they are collectible. When you bring up, maybe not to that degree, $100 million, but what you can do is you can figure out a payment plan. They can always get a bond. They can always have to raise a bond. But if this lawsuit does go, if he does decide that it can go forward and there is no qualified immunity, they then always can do a bond, and then they can get money on the bond to satisfy that particular judgment. But when you do it against a private individual, that's a lot different, because that private individual may not be collectible. What was your next issue? Right.
I'm sure you got to figure that Jeffrey Figer sued them for $100 million. There's plenty of other people who are, they're all standing in line really to
what they can do, what they can do.
And so all these other
right, what they can do,
what
they can do is they can join all of these lawsuits together, okay, because it's dealing with the same subject matter, and they can
But it's not class action.
No.
That's the one difference. This kind of thing is not class action like other things are.
May I? You do not have to have a class action to join matters together. If they deal with the same subject matter, then you can put them all on one docket. Okay, the judge can. And what he can do is he can have a conference with not only the attorneys that are suing, but the school board as well, to see if they can be able to come up with a universal settlement. And so that universal settlement may allow each of these parents not to get 100 million, but maybe even to get 10 million. But they can do a universal settlement. But thank you for your call, and we'll be back. Vonda's Court Unfiltered. And that was a great point as well. Larry's so smart. I love